Welcome to our program of Science Third Prep Stage. Today we are going to talk about the first lesson in the first term. It is about speed. What's mean by speed? And what are the type of speed? What is the importance of speed in our life? Speed, it is measure of how far an object moves in a given time. The definition of speed, it is the change, again, it is the change of distance in unit time. From this definition, we can find the law to calculate the speed or the speed rule. From this law or from this definition, speed equal delta D over delta T, meter per second, where V is speed, D is a distance in meter, T is a time in second. But there are another measuring unit of speed, like kilometer per hour, meter per minute. To convert between these units or this measuring unit, kilometer per hour to meter per second, there are another measuring unit for speed, like kilometer per hour, meter per minute. To convert between these measuring unit, we can convert between kilometer per hour to meter per second. We know that kilometer equal 1000 meter and 1 hour equal 60 minutes. 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So to convert between kilometer per hour to meter per second, we multiply 1000 over 60 times 60. طبعا بالاختصار البسيط بتاعك هيبقى 1000 over 60 times 60 equal 5 over 18. So to convert between kilometer per hour to meter per second, we can multiply 5 over 18. Like the car speed is 72 kilometer per hour. Find its speed by meter per second. You can multiply 5 over 18 times 72 equal 20 meter per second. Another point in this lesson, determination of speed. A train takes 100 seconds to travel 1,500 meters. What is the speed of this train? We can apply the law. V equal D over T. V equal D over T. The given in this problem, time equal 10 seconds and the distance equal 1,500 meters. So the speed V equal distance over time 1,500 over 100 equal 15 meters per second. Another problem, a car travels at 25 meters per second for 3 minutes. How far does it travel or calculate distance? In this problem, we want to find the distance covered by a car. Another time, a car travels at 25 meters per second for 3 minutes. In this problem, the velocity or the speed meter measuring unit equal meter per second, but the time by minute. So we will convert the measuring unit of time from minute to second. We will multiply 3 minutes times 60 equal 180 to be measuring unit as the same. So again, speed of car, the measuring unit equal by meter per second, but the time by the minute. So we will convert the time from the minute to second by multiplying 3 minutes times 60 equal 180. From the law of speed, V equal delta D over delta T, we can find distance equal V multiply time. Speed multiply time. 25 times 180 equal 4,500 meter. In this result, we can convert the distance from meter to kilometer. ليه بقى؟ لأن أنا عندي الكويستشن بتاع choose the correct answer ممكن يجيب لي في البروبلم دي بعد ما أجيب أنا السبيد بالمتر we want speed or sorry بعد ما أجيب الديستنس بالمتر we want distance by kilometer. So what will happen? We will divide 4,500 meter over 1,000 to convert from meter to kilometer equal 4.5 kilometer. Another point in this lesson, types of speed. What's type of speed? Uniform speed. If an object covered equal distance by in equal time interval, we will say the object moved by uniform speed. We can say uniform speed or regular speed. يبقى it is equal distance are covered by moving body in equal time interval. We can say in this point the object moved by a uniform speed or regular speed. Example. In this figure, the car moved to cover 10 meters in 1 second, and after 10 meters in 1 second, the car moved to equal distance in 2 equal time interval. This example as a uniform speed. Uniform speed. If you divide 10 meters over 1 second, you can find the speed equal 10 meters per second. After 1 second, 10 meters in 1 second. The speed equal 10 meters per second. This means the car cover the distance in a regular speed or a uniform speed. Another type of speed, non-uniform or irregular. Non-uniform speed or irregular speed. It is unequal distance are covered by moving body in unequal time interval. Again, it is unequal distance are covered by a moving body in unequal time interval. As example, this car move when in 1 second it covered 10 meters. In 3 seconds covered 20 meters. So the car moved to unequal distance in 2 unequal time interval. If you want to calculate this speed, you cannot. If you want to calculate this speed, you cannot. Why? There are irregular speed and average speed. أنا قلت من شوية إن أنت مش هتقدر تحسب السبيد في الحالة دي اللي هي irregular speed. سألتك why؟ إيه السبب؟ Because it is hard to measure regular speed, particularly due to presence of traffic jam or traffic light in the street. ده سؤال ممكن يجي لي give reason والمفروض ان انا ابقى عارفه. You can't او it's hard to measure regular speed particularly. Give reason. هنقول له بقى الانسر بتاعتنا due to presence of traffic jam or traffic lights in the street. طب how can calculate this speed؟ ازاي تقدر بقى تحسبها؟ From average speed. What's mean by average speed? We can calculate the average speed to know the total distance that covered in all time of trip. نعمل ايه تاني؟ هنقول we can divide total distance that covered in all time of trip over time. هنقسم التوتال ديستانس اللي انا مشيتها كلها over total time. كده انا بحسب حاجه او بجيب الافريج سبيد، وده بيحصل زي ما احنا شايفين في الصوره اللي قدامنا بسبب الترافيك جام او ترافيك لايتس. average speed equal total distance traveled over total time taken. As example, a runner covered as a distance of 100 meter of a straight track in 10 seconds. But firstly, runner covered distance of 100 meters of a straight track in 10 seconds. Then he returned back by walking. He took 80 seconds to return back to the rest point. Then he returned back walking. He took 80 seconds to return back to the rest point. يبقى وكأن الرنر بدأ يجري 100 متر in 10 seconds وهو راجع to the rest point خد زمن قد ايه؟ 80 seconds. If you observe the given in this problem, you can say speed, irregular speed or non-uniform speed, because the runner covered equal distance but in unequal time. التايم في الأول كان 10 second، بعد كده خد 80 second، يبقى كده في اختلاف في التايم. يبقى احنا عندنا هنا irregular speed أو non-uniform speed. Complete the following. From this problem, his average speed while running. His average speed while running. زي ما احنا قلنا الافريج سبيد هنقول total distance covered over total time taken. 100 over 10 equal 10 meter per second. His average speed during returning back. Total distance over total time again equal 100 over 80 equal 1.25 meter per second. You can observe the difference between average speed in two cases. His average speed during whole trip. هنعمل ايه بقى؟ هناخد التوتال distance over total time 100 plus 100 over 80 plus 10 equal 2.22 meter per second. If you want to calculate the speed of runner if he covered a distance of 100 meter in 20 seconds. Another example or another problem, calculate the speed of the runner if he covered a distance of 100 meter in 20 seconds. V equal D over T, 100 over 20 equal 5 meter per second. Another type of speed is a relative speed. Relative speed mean if two objects move in the same direction or in opposite direction, if two objects move in the same direction or in opposite direction. The first we can say is observer. ممكن نسميه observer. As you stand or rest in stationary of train. لو انت واقف على محطة الرصيف بتاعت القطار بتاعتك. And the train move by 100 km per hour. What is the relative speed of the train? relative view بالنسبة لك انت كده القطار اللي معدي قدامك وكأنه بيتحرك move by 100 km because your speed equal 0. انت واقف فالسبيد بتاعتك بزيرو، الترين بيتحرك 100 كيلومتر، يبقى الريلاتيف سبيد نقول كده بقى relative speed of train equal 100 كيلومتر. طب بالنسبة لمين؟ بالنسبة لك انت كشخص واقف على رصيف المحطة يبقى you are observer. يبقى انت كده اسمك المراقب. تعال نشوف كده مع بعض. Two buses or two cars move in the street in the same speed and the same direction. They appear as constant car for each other. Why? The speed of the first car equal 20 km per hour and the speed of the second car equal 20 km per hour. So they appear as constant car for each other. جت منين؟ Because relative speed, if two objects move in the same speed and the same direction, بنعمل ايه بقى؟ we do subtraction between the two speed. V1 minus V2 equal 0. يبقى وكأن العربية الأولى أو الباص الأولاني واقف بالنسبة للباص التاني ما بيتحركش because they are move in the same speed and in the same direction. يبقى if we want to find relative speed when the two objects move in the same speed and the same direction يبقى same speed و same direction نعمل ايه؟ نعمل subtraction between the two speeds V1 minus V2 هيديني حاجة اسمها الريلاتيف speed. يبقى الريلاتيف speed in the same direction and the same speed مهم قوي اللو دوت هنعمل subtraction between them V1 minus V2 40 minus 20 equal 20 20 minus 20 equal 0. يبقى أنا ممكن أجيب لك سؤال بطريقة تانية بعيدا عن البروبلم دي أقول لك when the relative speed equal 0 when the relative speed equal 0 هتقول لي إيه when two objects move in a street أو in the same speed and the same direction. تعال نشوف حالة تانية من الريلاتيف سبيد. When two objects or two cars move in the street with different speed in the same direction. The first car appear more faster than the second car. وبرضه نفس اللي هو الريلاتيف equal V1 minus V2. The first car its velocity equal 20 km per hour. The second car its velocity or speed equal 10 km per hour. So 20 minus 10 equal 10 km per hour. بنفس الطريقة because they are in the same speed and same direction. Another point in relative speed, look at the figure. The two cars are moved in opposite direction with different speed in different direction. أهم حاجة في الإكزامبل اللي قدامي دلوقتي إن هما in different direction. In different direction. The first car appear more faster than the second car. So the relative speed equal V1 plus V2 لأن أنت لما كنت في same direction عملت subtraction. هنا in opposite direction هتعمل summation للتو سبيد اللي عندك يبقى 10 plus 20 equal 30 km per hour. relative speed again لأن الجزئية دي هي اللي هتبقى فيها ممكن مشكلة شوية في البروبلمز بتاعتها فعشان نفهمها أكتر تعال نقولها بطريقة تانية. If a person in a car that move with 80 km a certain direction, then car move at 90 km passes him in the same direction. So this person is called observer. Called what? Observer. يبقى if two car move, the first move by 80 km and another car move by 90 km in the same direction, the second car due to the first car or relative first car called what? Observer. So the measuring speed of this case depend on the position of the observer that determines the magnitude of this speed. It means that the relative speed is the speed of moving object relative to observer. The relative speed of two objects that move in the same direction is calculated by subtraction between the two car speed. زي ما شفنا في الإكزامبل بتاعنا if the two objects move in the same speed and the same direction we can subtract V1 minus V2 to define. ممكن أجيب لك سؤال without البروبلم خالص بعيدا عن البروبلم تماما وأقول لك مثلا when does the relative speed is greater than observer speed. تاني when does the relative speed is greater than observer speed or actual speed. أنا عندي هنا 3 speed relative اللي أنا بحسبها في ال actual speed of an object في ال observer speed. If two objects move in the same direction and same speed، زي ما قلنا مع بعض نعمل عملية subtraction، بنقول actual speed minus observer speed بتديني ال relative speed. actual speed minus observer speed تديني ال relative speed. يبقى في الحالة دي هلاقي ان ال relative speed less than observer. طب امتى تبقى greater زي ما انا سألت؟ if the two objects move in opposite direction. In opposite direction we make what? We make V1 plus V2. يبقى ال relative speed هتبقى greater than actual speed. يبقى هنقول تاني ال relative speed equal actual speed plus observer speed. هنا في الحالة دي هيبقى ال relative speed greater than actual speed. ممكن سؤال تاني when does the relative speed equal 0؟ مهمة جدا برضو. when does the relative speed equal 0؟ when the actual speed of an object أو first object equal the second speed's object. ليه؟ لأن أنا لو عندي ال actual speed اللي هي بتاعت ال first car equal 20 km per hour and the observer move in the same direction with the same speed 20 km per hour. 20 minus 20 equal 0. So the relative speed كان ممكن نقول عليها vanish، اختفت أو equal 0 في الآخر. تمام كده؟ طيب what is mean by acceleration and what is the type of acceleration? Physicists use other mathematical relation like graph and table. Why؟ زي ما انت شايف قدامك في عندي حاجة اسمها جراف، انت خدتها في الماث بتاعتك. دي relation between distance and time، بنقول عليها distance time graph. Why the physicists use the mathematical relation like graph and table? Give reason. في بداية الليسون كده في عندي سؤال اهو give reason. In order to predict relation between physical quantities or understand particle result or describe physical phenomena in easier way. طب تعال نشوف نقطة نقطة مع بعض. To predict relation between physical quantity. The relation between distance and time هل هي directly ولا inversely؟ زي ما خدتها في الماث زي ما قلت لك من شوية. What is the relation between distance and time? What is the relation between speed or velocity and time? If the distance covered of an object increase، لو المسافة زادت if the distance of an object increase the time taken increase also. So the relation between distance and time is directly proportional. Distance is directly proportional with time. يبقى احنا هنقول كده if the distance increase the time increase. يبقى انا عرفت من الريليشن بتاعت الجراف او التيبل اللي ممكن يتكتب فيه الارقام بتاعت الديستنس اللي انت قطعتها والتايم تيكن. يبقى انا كده هاخد معاك حاجه مهمه جدا ان انا بعرف الريليشن بين الفيزيكال كوانتيتي like distance and time. طب if the velocity of an object increase velocity increase the time taken will decrease. بمعنى لو انا زودت سرعتي التايم اللي انا هاخده عشان اوصل المشوار بتاعي هيكون قليل. يبقى there are inversely proportional with velocity and time. If the velocity increase the time will be decrease. تمام؟ طيب distance time graph. In this graph how can calculate speed from the gradient? What's meant by gradient? The slope of a graph is called the gradient. Slope اللي هو difference of y axis to point in y axis and over difference between two point in x axis. ده بنسميه gradient. هنقول تاني you choose two point in y axis بعدين بتعمل لهم divide على 2 بوينت في الاكس اكسس بتجيب حاجه اسمها سلوب او ممكن نسميه جريدنت. عشان أقدر أجيب. As example, if in y-axis distance by meter and in x-axis time by second, you choose 2 points in y-axis and subtract them. هتطرحهم وتجيب 2 بوينت على الاكس اكسس بتاع التايم وتعمل لهم subtraction برضو. divide y axis over x axis, you can find the slope or gradient. تعال نشوف كده example عندي. يبقى the gradient of the line in a distance time graph. distance time بتتكتب على الواي اكسس والتايم بتتكتب على الاكس اكسس. يبقى distance time graph equal the speed. Dear student, I hope to enjoy your time with us. Try to answer the question after you study hard this lesson. Thank you and goodbye everybody.